Hey, sports fans, this is Robert with WTP Sports Dudes, jumping on tonight to talk about some college football. But before we get started talking college football and sharing our thoughts on a couple of questions that we want to ask tonight, can you believe it? The Cincinnati Bengals and the Washington Commanders, NFL history, no one had to punt and no one had any turnovers in that game. That's the first time in NFL history that we've had a football game, where no one had to punt, and no one had any turnovers in a game. That is incredible. Matter of fact, that might be football history, period, over across all different levels of football. I never heard of that. A game where no one had to punt the football and no one had any turnovers. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I guess for the offense, it's a good thing because you didn't have to punt the ball and you didn't turn the ball over. But for the defense, that's not a good thing for sure, because you couldn't stop nobody to force a punt and you didn't get no turnovers. So offensively, it's a good thing. Defensively, it's a horrible thing. So tonight we want to talk a little bit about Travis Hunter and the possibility of Travis Hunter winning the Thorpe Award as the best defensive back in college football, and also the man, how do you pronounce that? Bolitnikoff Award as the top wide receiver. I talk so fast sometimes that I can't get those words enunciated correctly. But the Thorpe Award and the Bolitnikoff Award, can he win both of those? That's going to be tricky. What's going on, bro?
What it do? What it do, Rob?
Everything's good. See League TV. How are you, T1? You everything all
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You have a good day at work today?
All right, go ahead. What's going on, bro?
Oh, nothing much, nothing much. Now, I was just talking about the possibility of Travis Hunter possibly winning the Thorpe Award as the number one or the best defensive back in college football, and the Bolitnikoff Award as the top wide receiver in college football.
I'm gonna have to put these earpods in because something ain't going right.
Okay, okay. While my man is putting in his ear pods, getting his sound together, I want y'all to ponder on that question. Is it possible, or not is it possible, because it is possible, do you think Travis Hunter will win the Thorpe Award as the top defensive back in the country? And will he win the Bolitnikoff Award as the top wide receiver in the country?
Hey, I think he should give. Hey, he looking good for both of them to me.
He's definitely looking good for both of them. He is definitely looking good for both of them, for sure. What's up,
Yeah, he
Level Up
looking good for
Sports
both of
fan?
them.
How's it going? How's it going? WTP Sports Dudes, City League TV.
What's happening? What's happening, Moss?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good.
We were asking the question, do you think Travis Hunter will win the Thorpe Award as the top defensive back in the country? And can he win the Blodnikoff Award as the top wide receiver in the country? Can he
That's
win
a
both?
that's a great question. I feel the way he's playing, I see him definitely at top of the Thorpe Award, winning that one. I mean, great corner, receiver as well. You can put him in a class of both of them. The way he's playing this year and to be doing it consistently. That's the key that we look at in sports. Being consistent in what you do, and he's went above and beyond the consistency of playing both of those positions this year.
Yeah. For the wide receiver position, I don't know if he has any competition right now for that.
Yeah,
I
it's
think he
only
might have their hands down right now.
because the only thing wide receiver is just a couple receivers that just play strictly offense that has more catches and maybe some yards, but overall, I mean, it's the first year type of year for a lot of things to happen for that first time. And I think this might be that year we see one player winning both awards. I mean, you can't ask for much more if you're watching him every week, man. He's doing exactly that.
Yeah, I agree. And I think only competition he got right now, or the top competition he got right now for the Thorpe Award is Will Johnson out of Michigan.
Michigan,
He got
yeah,
2 pick six. You
yeah,
know, you get 2 pick six, man. That's
that's tough.
that's tough. And
It's a,
he's a shutdown corner on his side of the field too. So
yeah, definitely that. And I know he got hurt Saturday, but they didn't mention anything about the extent of his injury or anything. I can't remember if he came back in that game or not.
he did not. He did
And
not
that's the
get back in
question.
that game. Yeah.
Yeah, so if he missed a game, that could be big because Colorado got another banger coming up this weekend. And that Big 12 is every week is looking tough. If you win, it's looking like you win. And if you lose right now in that Big 12, it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
Hey, well, you know, Colorado just looking at like for real, their expectations aren't really, really high. Of course, they
Right,
want to win every game and all of that, but even to be bowl eligible will be a very, very high success for Colorado.
Oh, yeah, I definitely agree.
I was saving this question for later on in the broadcast, but since we're talking about Colorado, I'm gonna ask it right now. Do you feel yourself rooting for Colorado and finding yourself watching them every week?
You want to
Well,
go
you
first?
already saw my giddy up, bro.
Yeah. For
You
sure.
already saw how I was, so you know I got my cowboy hat and my Coach Prime glasses. You know, so
I'm definitely watching them every week. I'm a fan of them. I personally know one of the players as well. So just, I don't know. Like, I like watching what they do because I just want to see each week's improvement, you know, and with the weather, how that game ended, you know, with the weather to come in and play a factor, I think is just a different week for Colorado every week. They're improving at different facets of the game every week, and they're just winning. At this point, when you get a win, that's all that matters. That's one thing I'm starting to notice. As long as you get a win,
that's
that's
it.
a great thing, and that could set you up for success, as we see with Michigan, USC. They've both lost, as well as Clemson, but they still in a position to where if they just win.
Yeah. The prime effect is definitely in full effect, man. Because I find even when he went to Jackson State, I was finding myself trying to watch them every chance I got to. I was
Yeah,
always checking to see if they won or not, looking at stats, the whole 9 yards. And now that he's at
Yeah.
Colorado, it's the same way, man. If I got a chance to watch them, as long as Texas ain't playing at the same time, I'm trying to watch him, man, because I'm trying to see him have success, man.
Yeah.
What he trying to
Hey,
do.
but do you notice they're on the TV here in Columbus, Ohio, every single week.
Every week.
They're on our tube every single week. If you
Yep.
notice, we've seen every last Colorado game right here in Columbus.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's
definitely-
prime time. It's the prime effect.
Yeah, it's the prime effect for sure. Now, of course, Sador Sanders is doing his thing and Travis Hunter is doing their thing, and you want to watch them, you know. But at the same time, prime time, man, the coach he's drawing all that attention, man.
Yeah,
He really
yeah.
has made college football a lot more interesting than it had been the previous 4 years, for sure.
I agree.
Would it be even more interesting would be if Coach Prime stayed after his boy and Hunter left. That's what would be interesting. Because as of right now, nobody can tell you what Coach Prime is doing after this season. For real, for real.
Nobody.
That is true. We can all speculate and guess, but we don't know.
Man, I hope so. But I hope he come where I know.
Let me ask y'all this question. What's your thoughts on USC going forward after their loss to Michigan? Because we was pretty high on them for a minute. We was pretty high on them.
I feel like I watched that game so close. I watched that game, and I learned a lot about both teams. I would say for USC, I think it was a good loss for them to learn and see where they was at, and know that they're not just facing a Michigan team; they're facing a team that won the national championship last year. We seen visions of that national championship last week based on that defense, I would say, as well as the way they ran the ball. So I think it was a good loss for USC overall. And I think for USC is just showing that they need to get a little bit better at certain things, especially the run game, and maybe look at a few things that they can make play calls on the passing game, because that's the one thing I was shocked that I didn't see is a few play calls that I seen in the LSU game that I didn't see in the Michigan game. But once again, give credit to Michigan as well.
I saw some of those play calls. The QB just wasn't connecting. I know that they are extremely upset and feel like they let one get away over there in Ann Arbor, because there were many times where his receivers were open. He wasn't hitting them. He wasn't hitting them. The receivers were doing their job. He wasn't hitting them. I had to put it on him because what I saw in him in the first couple of games was a quarterback who could throw that ball and get it to the receivers. And I guess the pressure that Michigan was putting on him didn't allow him to have that type of success.
And I agree. I seen that, and the one thing I did see, like I was watching that and seeing the pressure that Michigan put on them at times, and I was thinking, like, am I seeing Michigan put that much more pressure, Michigan have that much more speed, or was they just that good against the speed of LSU? But like you said, it was that pressure from Michigan, as well as him not being on key with some of them throws, because he made those same throws in the LSU game, and he was missing a few of them.
All right, well, let's
that's that Big Ten stuff right there. They couldn't handle that Big Ten work right there.
Yeah, they could handle that Big Ten work. Let's look at their remaining schedule, and y'all tell me win or loss. Next game they got Wisconsin in Southern Cal. What's your thoughts on that? Win or loss?
Win.
Bounce back win in a big way.
I haven't seen anything from Wisconsin.
Nah.
Then they got Minnesota in Minnesota. What's your thoughts on that?
Should be a banger. I haven't really followed Minnesota that much this year. I don't even think I've seen them play. So
I agree. I haven't seen them play. I think it'll be a good one, banger, because of the fact of USC having to go to Minnesota. And you know, Minnesota, they're gonna try to do anything they can to rumble USC in that first game home. But I still feel USC could get that win. It'll be a close one, but I got USC with that one as well.
After that, they got Penn State in Southern Cal. What's your thoughts on that?
Just gotta see what Penn State look like.
Yeah, that's looking like a coin toss.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think they may be on more of a level of a Penn State, but like I say, with that Michigan game, I think they just left a whole lot out there on a field. And of course, every team that loses can say that, but I feel just off of the games that I saw that quarterback operate, being down 7, being down 10, and make big plays. And I was a little disappointed with him in that game.
Same here.
Then they got Maryland in Maryland. What's your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I did. I just watched a little bit of the Big Ten and 60. Of course, Villanova isn't a a football team. It's more of a basketball university, but you know, they were moving the ball. They were looking decent. So, you know, like we always say, if it depends on how that offensive and defensive line plays.
Yeah, I
Then they
agree.
got Rutgers.
Say that
They
again.
get that. Rutgers.
They got Rutgers in Southern Cal.
So I feel probably about they should get Rutgers. Rutgers, that they're not there.
Mhm.
You know, Maryland either for the most part. You know, they really just aren't going to have the talent level that USC is going to have. So USC
Right.
is basically going to beat them with talent.
Then they go to Washington.
That's the tough one. That's a tough one because that's like playing. You know, they've been playing in the same conference for years. You know, so it's still kind of a rivalry. I still feel USC. I don't know, USC. I just like them. I think that loss, like you said, is something that they're gonna learn a lot from, and I think they could definitely get this win against Washington. It'll be a point in the season where they have to get that win as well, I think. And through the challenges that they faced already, at that point, I think they could get that win.
Okay, then they got Nebraska in Southern Cal.
Is that their last game?
No, they got 2 more games after that.
Oh, okay. Nebraska and Southern Cal. That's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be a good one. Nebraska just went down to Illinois, so you know that kind of knocked them down the peg. But Illinois been balling. They Frank Bielema got them boys trying to get back to a bowl game.
Yeah, they looking real good. Still take them Trojans over the Cornhuskers. I don't even think Nebraska. I think they about to lose a couple. For some
Yeah,
odd reason,
they about to. Yeah, Illinois kind of exposed them a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I was. I think they kind of exposed them a lot. You're right.
Then they got UCLA.
UCL.
Oh yeah, they gonna stomp them. They gonna take some stuff out on UCLA.
Yeah, they gonna love that game, boy.
Yeah, they gonna be mad.
My bad, UCLA. I had to laugh at y'all, man. My bad, though. And then they end the season against Notre Dame.
That's right. That's always their last game of the season. I see Freeman fighting for his life in that game.
Yeah.
So they're at Notre Dame.
No, it's in Southern Cal.
Oh, in Southern Cal.
They owe them one too. They owe Notre Dame one, I believe, because I think Notre Dame snuck away with one in Southern Cal in the last few years too.
Yeah, and did Notre Dame play last week?
Yeah,
they beat up on what's the
They
name?
beat up on somebody. Yeah,
Some nobodies or
Miami of Ohio.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Miami of Ohio. Yeah.
It'll be interesting to take a little peek at their schedule for that. Just talking about that finale, that rivalry game with USC, because you know, with Notre Dame taking that loss to Northern Illinois, you just have to wonder who else could knock them off, and would that put Freeman's head coaching job in jeopardy if he, you know, takes 1 to 2 more losses.
Right.
Maybe they're happy with 10-2, but you know, 9-3. That could be bad.
That's gonna be bad
because that means they're not going, and they may have already knocked themselves out of the playoffs just with that loss. So
yeah,
they was banking on. I think everybody was banking on Notre Dame getting in the playoff, the 12-team playoff.
Yeah, I thought for sure they was getting.
Thought they was going to be in there for sure. Yeah, I thought they would have been in there, being that they got the independent schedule, just being Notre Dame and what they had coming back. But as we see, it's grind.
Yeah. Well, they got to get in. They got to get in that top 10, top 11. I think. Yeah, top 11 to get in there. So y'all, from the sounds of it, it's 3 possible.
I'm taking USC.
I'm taking USC with that schedule, with the possibility. I think the toughest games, I think that at Washington, I think that's going to be the game that's going to be most battle tested, because right now Washington, I believe, is 3-1 as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that alone, I think it's always a game that USC, they both play tough, but I think with this year, with them both being in a Big Ten, I think Washington will definitely want to prove something, being that they're the more superior team coming from that conference, even though they both coming from there, just want to be a little more stout, I guess, in USC. Just think that prevail in the long run, but that'll be the challenge.
Okay. So possibly 3 losses. Not. They got 3 tough games that they could possibly win or lose.
Right.
So they could possibly end up losing 2, 3, 4 this season.
Yeah. Like, because you have to think too, like, what is this first year in the Big Ten gonna feel like in November?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because this isn't the pass happy Pac-10. This is run heavy, pound down Big Ten football, and we're gonna throw the ball as well. But you're gonna get ran on.
Yeah.
And what is that gonna look like for these teams that are more passing teams? Come November. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they adapt to the Big Ten.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate for those Pac-12 teams because, they didn't get no chance to even build up to the Big Ten. You know what I'm saying? Oh, next year you go to the Big Ten, buddy.
Right.
So you ain't got a chance to get your roster together. They didn't have the luxury that Texas and Oklahoma had. They knew 3 years in advance, oh, yeah, we're going to the SEC at this time. Let's try to get our rosters to match SEC play. And the Pac-12 didn't have a chance to do that. So they're going to have to get it together, though, because the Big Ten is not changing their format for nobody.
Right.
Not at all.
Let me ask y'all this. Right now, is the Heisman Trophy race a 2-man race right now?
I think so.
I agree. I mean, you got Cam. My choices with that would be Cam Ward, and of course, the man we've been talking about, Travis Hunter. I think them guys definitely put their teams in situations to where they always have a chance to win the game. You want to see these guys play every week. And, I mean, their stats has proven it. More snaps played than most Division I schools this year, and Travis Hunter and Cam already over 1,000. I think he only has, maybe 1 interception this year, I think.
I think you only
If
got
I'm
one.
not mistaken.
Yeah.
So when it comes to that,
Big Paul's fumble though, his stats are definitely outside of interceptions because not many teams are even going to try him.
Yeah.
He's not getting tried often enough to get interceptions. I know he has at least 2 interceptions.
Let me see, because I had it wrote down.
I thought I've seen him snatch 2 of them.
Let's see. He got, how many interceptions he got? I think he got 2. I think he do got 2 interceptions, Travis Hunter.
Yeah, those are the same 2 I got. I got Cam Ward and Travis Hunter. If you had to vote today, which one of them is getting your vote?
I got it split. Between Travis and Hunter.
You're silly for that one. I'm going Travis. I mean, as an athlete, just seeing somebody do what he's doing, man, you can't ask for nothing more than that. As a coach, I love seeing it. Somebody that can play offense and defensive every possession. Nothing against Cam Ward because he's having an amazing season for Miami. But, man, it's just something that you don't see every day, not even every decade.
Yeah, I would definitely vote for Travis Hunter too. And I know everybody that's in the Heisman Trophy race right now is going to probably be like, man, I would have won a championship only if it wasn't for Jordan. You know what I'm saying? So because what Travis Hunter is doing right now, man, it's like if he continues this the rest of the season, I don't care what their record is.
Yeah, me either.
You cannot deny that man the Heisman Trophy, bro. What if he get the Heisman Trophy, the Biletnikoff
He can.
Award, and the Thorpe Award? What if he get all 3 of them suckers, man.
If he can keep getting his 100 yards receiving a game,
Yeah.
if he do that for 12 games, he got it. And
Yeah,
I don't see him not getting that.
Yeah.
Me neither, man. I don't see how you can deny him.
Because Shador gonna find him. Shador gonna throw him that ball.
Oh,
They
yeah.
they got plays for him every single game. You know what I mean? He's far from an offensive decoy. He is a number one receiver.
And he go gets the. He want to do it. That's the thing. Like he actually want to go play and catch the ball.
Yeah.
And then when he said about tackling, like it's just the IQ. I watched that play where he got that tackle and a fumble today, like probably about like a half hour before we came on air. I watched it about 3 or 4 times, and I'm like, that's IQ. And for him,
put that helmet right on that ball.
Yeah, put that helmet right on the ball. You're doing everything you want in your player to do, and it shows right there. And if that don't put you, I mean, if people's not seeing what we seeing, I don't know what they seeing. They got to be Stevie Wonder. They got to be Ray Charles to it all. And I'm being honest with you.
I think they're seeing it.
Because this is insane, man. I love it. And I don't know, I watch everything Colorado do. It's something to see, man, regardless. They took the loss, and now they doing what they doing. And everybody else, different teams is voting, and they just gaining movement in the Big 12, and a lot of teams still got games to play as well. So
I don't know. Maybe he clicked out or something.
clicked out. I think he clicked out.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you this, and if you jump back on, then we'll let him chime in too. This is Colorado's remaining schedule. You let me know if you think he gets 100 yards or not.
Okay.
Next game they got UCF. Do you think he get 100 in that game?
Yes.
T1.
Big game.
Yeah.
Travis Hunter then play UCF next game. Do you think he gets 100 yards receiving?
Yeah. They're going to make sure of that.
Then they got Kansas State. Do we get 100?
Yeah.
Then they got Arizona. Do we get 100?
Yep.
Then they got Cincinnati. Do we get 100?
Yeah. Might get 200. Hey, he might get 200 against Arizona too.
I think he
150.
Yeah, he want to catch the ball on a lot of these teams because I think a lot of them was talking a lot of stuff last year. You know, when he want to go out and catch that ball, they want to try to hit him. So I think he want to go out and do some of these things.
And what's crazy is Horn is a top receiver in college football as well. So they actually have 2 high-power receivers that Shador throwing that ball to. Oh, what a beautiful ball.
Yeah.
They had a tight end. They'd be dangerous, bro.
Definitely. Right. If they could have stole one of Ohio State's tight ends, they'd have been all right. We got a whole lot of them. Hey, look, I wish he would have stole a few of our players, man. Like, go to Colorado.
Right.
The nail money there.
All right, Texas Tech. Do we get 100?
Yeah, for sure.
Utah.
For sure. Easy 100. Utah.
Do we get
Utah gonna try to make it hard for him, but I don't see nobody stopping this streak, man, because I don't see Shador not throwing him the ball at least 7 times a game. 8 times a game. I just don't see that happening. He's one of the top receivers.
Yeah, because the Stargers was
up there. Do we get 100 against Kansas?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Kansas
game. Don't have so
Oklahoma
much of
State. Do we get 100 against Oklahoma State?
Oh, they're gonna try to stop the streak, but it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. All you gotta do is throw Travis the ball. He gonna get it. That boy is special, man.
So you saying 1,500 yards, 12 to 15 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Over 70, 80 receptions.
Yeah, I'm saying 1,500 yards and, hopefully definitely double-digit touchdowns. Yeah. But even like, I don't think he got a touchdown last game, right? But I think the game before that he had 3.
He had.
I know he had 130 yards receiving. Did a touchdown come along with that?
I don't think so.
You said in the last game?
Yeah, in the last game.
Because he got right now, he's sitting on 37 catches for 472 with 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, I know he had 3 in the game, and I think the Colorado State game he had 3, right? I think
so.
Yeah. You said 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, he got 5 touchdowns on the season.
Yeah, because he might have got 2. He might have got 2 in that first game too.
Yeah, he got 2 in the first game. He didn't score.
Yeah, so he didn't. So he didn't get one last game, but his yards was up.
Yeah, he got 130. He just didn't score at all.
Yeah. So he had a yard. So he's gonna have he could possibly have those games where, he doesn't have a touchdown, but he does have over that 100 yards.
Yeah,
definitely. And it balance out. He may have a game or two where he don't get that 100 yards, but he do have 1 or 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's where, like you said, Jimmy Horn Jr. I think that's one of the most slept on receivers, I think, in college football. I might be a little biased, but the reason I am is because I've watched The Art of Work, not even at Colorado. This was before when he was at South Florida. So I watched a lot of his film, and he reminds me of that every down slot receiver that you need in the NFL, because the amount of things that he could do all over the field when it comes to special teams, catching, blocking, just that extra piece you need. So I think with them two as well, I think he definitely gets that 1,000, possibly for sure 1,500 for Travis Hunter as well. And I think he possibly had 10 touchdowns. I'm gonna say we're in week 5. I'm gonna say week 10. Very possible that he had 10 touchdowns.
Oh, for sure. By week 10, yeah, for sure.
It's 37 catches, 472 yards. Then I'm just thinking of the fact of how many offensive snaps. I think he's at as many yards as he is defensive snaps.
Yeah.
That's insane. And he's only going to get bigger and stronger.
Yeah, for sure. All right, y'all, let's look at this top 25, man, and y'all tell me if y'all think somebody should be higher or lower. So first they got Texas at 1, Georgia at 2, Ohio State at 3, Alabama at 4, Tennessee at 5. They were 6. They got Ole Miss at 6. They were 5. They got Miami at 7. They were 8. They got Oregon at 9. At 8. They were 9. They got Penn State at 9, and they were 10. They got Utah at 10, and they were 12. They got Missouri at 11, but they was 7. They got Michigan at 12, and they was 18. They got USC at 13, and they were 11. They got LSU at 14, and they were 16. They got Louisville at 15, but they were 19. They got Notre Dame at 16, and they were 17. They got Clemson at 17, and they were 21. They got Iowa State at 18, and they were 20th. They got Illinois at 19. They were 24th. They got Oklahoma State at 20th, but they were 14th. They got Oklahoma at 21, and they were 15th. They got BYU at 22, and they weren't ranked at all. They got Kansas State at 23, but they were 13th. Now they dropped 10 places.
10 spots.
And they got Texas A&M at 24. They were 25th. And they got Boise State at 25, and they were not ranked. Nebraska and Northern Illinois fell out of the top 25.
They knocked Nebraska out with one loss. They said we ain't buying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, can you tell me how many SEC teams they got in there and where they ranked at?
Yes, sir. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
SEC all through there.
They got 8. They got 8 SEC teams.
Crazy. That's crazy, man.
1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 11, 14, and they got 9. Oklahoma is at 21 and Texas A&M at 24.
Yeah.
They
See
got
what I
9.
mean, dog? That's just ridiculous.
I remember last week they had 9.
That's just ridiculous.
Well, let's look at the Big Ten because they got a lot too, bro.
Big Ten is
So
nice too.
we ain't got 9. Let me hear how many we got. I mean, I know it's gonna be between us and the SEC, but man, they just give the SEC just so much credit and make their strength of schedule. Like when they say, okay, now we do say strength of schedule, but y'all giving the SEC all the strength. So it's like, regardless of who they play, it's a harder game than anybody else. But go ahead, bro.
They got 6.
Oh,
They got
6.
top 25.
Ohio State,
We haven't had 6 in a long time.
Michigan, USC, Illinois. Yeah, you're right. 6. I mean, 6 ain't that far from 9, bro.
Hey, that ain't bad. That ain't bad. I'm looking at it, and I mean, the breakdown, the Big Ten and the SEC, that's where it's at. And I think y'all got a chance to actually outdo them with the way the games is. I mean, the SEC got the toughest schedule to me on this back 9. All these teams is going to be rearranged in the SEC quick. And I think that's why. I mean, I don't know if it's the strength of their schedule, which, I mean,
no, they make it a strong. They make it a strong schedule. That's what I'm saying. They, like we said, somebody played 5 of the top 6 teams. You know what I mean? Like, dog. So that's just saying you got the hardest schedule in the history of college football.
Right.
You play the whole top 6, top 7. Shit. Except for Ohio State.
Man. That'll be insane.
I mean, but if you look at it, you think at the end of the season, you think Texas A&M gonna be ranked in the top 25?
I will have to see their schedule because, like I said, and I don't know if it's going to change with Oklahoma and Texas coming in, but I will have to see their schedule because SEC's history is like they are so top heavy. A lot of teams be ending the season with 8 wins. That's a lot of wins, and they have 8. They have 9. They have 9 teams with at least 8 wins. They have 9, 10 teams with at least 8 wins.
Because just think, even if let's just say, for example, nothing against Texas, everybody in the SEC, let's just say, have a loss. Now, let's say what all teams in the SEC we think will have 2 losses. Then 3 losses. Only teams I feel that wouldn't go past that 1 loss is the Texas or Alabama team. I just don't think there's any other team in the SEC that's going to lose. Not lose more than 1 game except those 2 teams. If they lose, like, it's crazy how they schedules are here. It's like somebody in the SEC is going to have to lose 1 or 2 games, and it's going to be one of these teams that's in its top 10 right now, which sucks, but that's just how it's going to be. It's crazy.
We got 11 undefeated teams in the top 25. We got 9 one-loss teams in the top 25. Let me ask y'all this. They got in those top teams that got 1 loss. You got Michigan, USC, and LSU. But these are the undefeated teams that are behind them. Do you think any of these teams should be ahead of those 3 teams? You got Louisville, Iowa State, Illinois, and BYU. Do you think any of those teams should be ahead of Michigan, USC, or LSU with one loss when those other 4 teams don't have any losses?
I say Louisville definitely deserve a little more respect, as well as Illinois. I mean, if you say Nebraska is this top team, you put them in that top 25, and Illinois go out and they play the game they played, they moved up 5 spots. Why not move them up a few more when you got teams that's dropped 10 spots, like a Kansas State, and they're 3-1, and it took for them to drop I say those 2 teams to me, I feel deserve a little more respect. Louisville and Illinois, because they playing some great football.
What's your thoughts on that, T.Y.?
I'm cool with the name recognition, and they are where they are. As long they just got one loss, so time will tell.
It's kind of weird because Michigan beat USC, gave them their one loss, and USC gave LSU their one loss. That's kind of weird.
Kind of weird.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. So, out of all those teams that we just named in the top 25, do you think somebody is not ranked as high as they should be, or is there somebody that's ranked too high?
Anybody that was ranked too high? Nah, I'm gonna have to say, it's early in the season for me, so I feel like we're all still filling these teams out. So I'm gonna say I'm cool with it, even with it being SEC heavy.
I agree, because it's gonna go on. You're right. And looking at it, I just said that because Illinois is 4 games in. Louisville only played 3. I mean, they winning, and teams ahead of them is just lost. And then, you got Clemson ahead of Illinois. Is that a little bias on Clemson behalf? And then you got Louisville ranked a couple spots ahead of Clemson. Then Notre Dame 3-1 at 16. So it's, man, I think who you lose to, I think in a way it matters, but overall, your prestige as a school gonna keep you in certain places and be good for you.
Yeah, but two losses ain't getting you in the playoffs unless you're a conference champ.
Right.
Yeah, unless you're a conference champ, you're right.
And I don't see you being a conference champ with 2 losses.
Right.
I don't see that. But then again, I mean, you never know, especially the ACC or the Big 12. Things like that do happen.
Because I was looking at the Big 12 schedule. I was glad you said that. I was looking at the Big 12 and seeing how everything is, and it seemed like every conference, everybody got crazy schedules coming up within a conference, and where the records are to where, what is this week? We going into week 5. I think it's like you won't be able to tell no separation really until a week 8, week 10, because every week is battle tested and the rankings is shifting.
I say we got about 3 weeks. And we're gonna know who our pretenders and who our contenders are.
Yeah,
I say we got about 3 weeks. About 3 weeks we gonna know. That's the halfway point, and we gonna know what you're working with, what you're coming with. We've been seeing enough football.
Man, I really do believe that a 3-loss SEC team and a 3-loss Big Ten team is getting in that 12-team playoff, bro.
I think we may only be a few years away from it being that competitive. I think so, with it being the amount of teams that you have in the the SEC and the Big Ten now. I could see some real live headbanging starting, especially with this NIL money and all of that. So it's not just Alabama and Georgia. If you got enough money to go and get you some athletes, go build your offensive and defensive line, you can compete and you can knock off a giant.
Yeah.
Man, let me ask you this now. We got Miami at 7. We got Tennessee and Ole Miss at 5 and 6. Could you possibly see Miami ahead of those two teams?
I could see. Now that's one team that I would say that I could see possibly being ranked higher. But like I say, it's early in the season, so it's cool. It'll all play out.
And we still trying to see what this Ole Miss play this weekend. Because I really want to watch them and see what they're about against a tough opponent. I really want to see that Ole Miss team because they've been starting off like they have for the last few years with Jackson Dart and that offense, and they dropped the spot. So even though Tennessee beat Oklahoma, reason that happened, but I just want to see where they are with that 4-0 record. But Miami definitely should be ahead of them.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at their contest. So they got Kentucky in Ole Miss next week. Well, this weekend. Then they go to South Carolina. They go to LSU. Then they get Oklahoma at home. Then they go to Arkansas. Then they got Georgia at home. Then they play Florida in Florida. Then they end the season with Mississippi State, which we know they're going to kill Mississippi State.
Mm-hmm.
And Florida.
Right.
It sounds like the possibility they might lose one, which be Alabama.
They don't play Alabama.
I know. Who is that team? Who is it you said?
Georgia.
That's what I meant, Georgia.
Yeah.
But then we know what Georgia have done this year. So, man, that's tough. And I think when we talked about it, we figured that they had a pretty smooth schedule. It's just they got to show us what type of team they are with the schedule that they do have.
I wish LSU had a defense, man. I would say LSU probably would have a chance to beat them at the crib.
Yeah.
LSU's defense is horrible. And they just lost Harold Perkins, their edge rusher, and they already had lost their top defensive tackle.
So
they in trouble.
They defense in trouble.
Yeah, they in trouble.
A young man better come in ready to play, whether he know it or not.
I don't know. They could possibly get
it, and
one
then
loss. Maybe one loss. Maybe they might go undefeated, man. Because if they beat Georgia, I don't think nobody else is gonna beat them. Because they ain't got Oklahoma at the crib.
Yeah.
But this
I don't think nobody gonna beat them, man.
Wow, you're right.
Yeah, I don't think nobody gonna beat them. So I mean, you might get 6 SEC teams in a 12-team playoff. No,
nah, they ain't getting. They might give both of us 3 apiece.
Oh, I could definitely see that.
They might. You gonna get the champion and the runner up is probably gonna make it for sure.
For sure.
Because they'll be in the top 10. That the SEC and Big Ten championship game should have 2, top 10 teams going against each other.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, even if you went 3-3, 2-2, you take the champion of the Big 12 and the runner-up, and the champion of the ACC and the runner-up. That's 10 spots right there. Then you're going to get the non-power 4. Non-power 4, and then you got another slot that's open.
And see, that's the crazy thing. I'm not so sure you're taking the second best ACC team and the second best Big 12 team over possibly a 4th best SEC or 4th best Big 10 team.
I mean,
they could possibly get 4 apiece if you're just going by the power rankings. We know for sure that the SEC can get 4 up in there off of their power rankings. Those number 3 and 4 ranked SEC teams that sit and watching the championship game probably be top 10 teams.
Yeah, I can see that.
Which may put them at an automatic 4 teams in there.
All right.
Outside of Miami, I don't see anybody else beating Louisville outside of Miami. And they're
And
gonna
I'm
meet again in the championship game. So those two might get in. Now, as far as the Big 12,
Hey, it's college football, fellas. Don't
yeah,
don't sleep on college football.
yeah,
Don't sleep on a Wake Forest or a Boston College, or don't sleep. Don't sleep. Just like Ohio State, we can't sleep.
oh,
We
nobody.
can't sleep on Nebraska.
That's
You
true.
know, don't
you gonna
sleep.
see
Don't
this
not
year
eat
in
your
college
Wheaties.
football. I think we was hibernating. That's one thing for sure. Florida State been hibernating because I ain't seen nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's over with.
It ain't too late to wake up. It's still early, so see what they do Saturday.
We got to win against Cal, so all I'm looking for is a bowl game. That's all I'm looking for. You never know what else could shake. If I look for a bowl game, a couple of other things might happen with some losses. So you just don't know.
We already looked at that schedule, but we'll let you keep that confidence right there, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Before y'all jumped on, man, I was talking about the first time ever in an NFL game. It might be in a football game, period.
Mm-hmm.
There's never been a game where there was no punts and no turnovers in a game, but that happened in that Cincinnati game yesterday against the Washington Commanders, where nobody punted and nobody had any turnovers.
That was ugly.
Man, it was.
That was ugly, man. I'm so disappointed with Cincinnati and Cleveland right now. I really don't know how to think.
So disappointed, man. After I was ready to just say, I'm not watching no more football this season. That's how bad that loss hurt me last night. I don't even want to watch no more football. And that's tough to say with Higgins coming back and everything. Like, I'm just that disappointed in my Bengals, man. That the performance defensively to come out and play Kansas City as tough as we did on the defensive side of the ball, to come out and flat out get embarrassed defensively. I think there need to be some changes made ASAP. And I know we missing Awuzie. The problem in Cincinnati, we don't want to pay nobody. We don't pay players. We see what happened. Jesse Bates over in Atlanta with many interceptions. Awuzie, we miss you. Hopefully we can have you. But, that's not your fault. But
Right.
I mean, it just sucks, man. I mean, I did not think we'd be 0-3 right now at this point in the season. And it's time to go do some soul searching. I don't give a rat's about the way the offense looked at the end of the game. In the NFL, you don't play no defense. You're going to leave Sunday with a loss.
Yeah, because I thought Chase was running that ball real good. Joy was throwing it okay, and it was just that defensive side of the ball.
Defense was horrible. I mean, no pressure on the quarterback. And then it was Stone. I'm like, you got a 4-year, 1,000-yard receiver that's lined up across from you. Why you letting this man just run right by you? Why you not playing off this man?
Right.
Where's the Amaru? You need to make some adjustments, buddy, because we
Man,
watching
that's
you.
stuff that don't be looking real to me sometimes, because you just be like, man, come on, man. You in the NFL. How you getting burnt like that? You're not supposed to make the team. You'll get cut.
What?
You'll get cut in the preseason just off of one bomb like that. They're like, oh, that's the potential you have? Okay, yeah, nah, we good.
Yeah, you gone. You out. We don't need you, buddy.
Right.
Like I watched my young kid from Walnut Ridge, Julius Wood, that played for Dallas in the preseason. He had great games, couple interceptions, everything, and they still got rid of him because of one or two blown coverages or a bad angle, just only once or twice. You know what I mean? Like not enough to where everybody was surprised. Like, wow, really?
Yeah. I don't know what y'all's record was last week in the NFL, man, but I went 6-10, bro.
Man,
What did I? trying to think. Mine was
I've only been over 500 the first week. That was it. Last week I think I was 7-9, and this week I was 6-10, and the first week I was 10-7.
I don't think I was good at all. I know I was horrible this week. I ain't take track of it, but just looking at the games, I know I was way under 500.
Yeah, I went back and slid to like 8-8. I got lucky with a couple games, but yeah, I was terrible. Like
I might have to go back to the show and see what I call. But if I can recall, like YSL Woody, I did horribly.
Right.
Definitely, that it was.
I mean, 'cause we all picked the Browns to win, right?
Yep, we all picked the Browns.
Yep.
We all
Browns
picked
and the Bengals.
We picked
Browns
the Saints
and the
to
Don't
win.
leave the Bengals out. We picked them too.
Yeah, we
Browns.
picked the Saints too, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah. Did we pick the Texans or the Vikings?
I had the Vikings. I almost picked your Texans.
No, I know. I picked the Texans. Damn, this is good.
I picked the Texans too.
Then,
We all picked Tampa Bay too, didn't we?
yep.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was horrible. Oh my gosh, it feels good. Dang, that's
What
big.
was the other one?
We all picked the Raiders too,
We
didn't
all picked the Raiders. Yep.
I don't know about the Rams.
And we picked the 49ers.
Yeah,
I picked the 49ers. I lost that one.
yeah, I know. I think I might have picked the. I don't know who I picked on that one. That was probably a push because
Like,
both of them got too many injuries. I know I picked the Cowboys because I was going with the homies,
Mm-hmm.
And who the Cowboys play again?
the Ravens.
The Ravens? Nah, I ain't picked the Cowboys.
No, I picked the Ravens on that. I ain't feel Baltimore. And remember, look, it was funny because I was like, oh, they got them purple jerseys on. And I knew Dallas was in trouble. When I seen them purple jerseys, I said, oh, yeah, they in trouble.
Yeah,
Well, I just thought they was in trouble just because they Dallas, and that's just how they look right now.
Man.
But man, that's five losses that nobody. I don't care who they are. I don't care if you're the greatest gambler of all times. You did not pick the Giants to beat the Browns, the Eagles to beat the Saints, the Bucks
No,
to lose to the Broncos, the Panthers to beat no Raiders, and you ain't picked no Commanders to beat no Bengals, man.
no, you didn't.
No way.
Nah.
That's 5 games that all of us was way off on.
Way off, man.
Way off.
And I had that's, I think, 10 or 14. I think 10. I might have said 2 touchdowns.
It should have been.
Yeah. I'm highly disappointed with my G's.
Man, listen. It's going to be that kind of week down all the way to Sunday if I'm going to watch that next game, man. That's honestly how I feel right now. I've done it before, and I ain't scared to put them on the barn burner and make them get a win to where I don't have to see it. I just get on ESPN and know what we doing from that pinned score coming on my phone. Other than that,
Right.
I'm telling you.
But don't the Bengals got 2 defensive tackles? That's the 2 top defensive
Yeah.
tackles hurt.
That hurt. Yeah.
And then we lost
right there.
Jones. Who was it?
So
Jones?
look, the Browns do too. The Browns got defensive tackles out too.
We just lost Trent Brown
And
yesterday.
offensive lineman.
For the season.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
So that's going to definitely hurt. But I seen I did like what I seen in Mims, and for him to get in at with the way the game was going already, I think I was kind of tough to step in. But I think I definitely like how his improvement comes along. I mean, you not know Trent Brown, but I think for him to be young and be able to get some of that coaching that Trent Brown and be able to give him, even though he's hurt, I think that'll definitely help him, elevate his game throughout the season to where it'll be some progression. But it's not the same when you got an all-pro compared to having a rookie.
Yeah.
It's a big difference.
Yeah, it's huge difference. All right, y'all got anything else on your mind about college or pro football? Y'all getting ready for basketball? Y'all ready for that?
Oh, yeah.
Man, I'm ready for basketball just so I can see my daughter.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Look, she just sent me stats. Yesterday. They had a scrimmage. She went 5 for 5 with a couple boards.
Okay. How many threes she hit?
No, you know my daughter's 6'3". She down low. Her work get down there. She did. Hey, she did say she hit a couple middies.
Okay.
She got the mid range.
She ain't got that. She ain't got the 3 yet. She a midi killer though.
Yeah.
It's coming. Oh,
Just-
she the mid killer. Yeah,
Just say she ain't got the T1 yet.
Nah, she got it. She got it. She just ain't got that long ball.
Yeah.
You know, all I had to do was step in the gym. I was ready to shoot that motherfucker.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. I mean,
Yeah, she grew too quick for herself, bro. We didn't even know she was gonna be that tall, man.
right.
She just took off, man. And she was big. At one point, she was like 250.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, but she got into some real good shape. You know, that COVID, man. I think that's about the time where she was like about 250, man.
Yeah, COVID was beating everybody up, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, all you could do is eat and watch TV. I mean,
That's it.
I became a gamer at that time. I got me a PS. I started getting into the gaming world, man. And that's where I done met quite a few people just from gaming. And that's what I do in my spare time. I get my game on now, man.
Dang, that's what's up. I just haven't been able to get back there, man, since my younger days, man. And I wish I could, but I just haven't been able to make it back there. I ain't got the time.
Because I had both of the kids at the crib during that COVID time. I'm like, y'all doing school, I'm going to work, I'm coming in. I'm like, nah, I gotta find something to do, man. I can't go nowhere, I can't go ball, I can't do.
Right.
I'm like, I'm bored out of my mind. Outside of working out, I got into the gaming. And I mean, it's just something I enjoy doing, man. It kind of gives me that feel.
It keep you out of trouble.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Keep you out of trouble.
Actually, I meet quite a few people on there. It's you'll be surprised at how many people be on the game when it comes to just different professionals and a couple the buddy that spoke on Ole Miss from the chat a couple weeks ago, Josh. That's one of my buddies. He's from Florida, and me and him met on a game. And me and him, we communicate throughout the week, at least once a week. We communicate with each other. And just to be able to have something like that, and I'm like, wow, we literally met off of a video game. So, just a different way of networking and something I experienced, and it just kind of keeps me into it.
Cool. Let me end the live stream, and then we can just chop it up.
I'm gonna get the job, huh?
See?
Can I say my